Okay, so let me just talk to you about what a parent goes through, what I go through every time David is sick. What we go through is this. You basically second guess everything that you've been doing, everything. When they get sick, you think, did I do this good enough? Did I wash the equipment good enough? Did I not do something? Did I do something? It's constant, constant, all the time. It's very stressful. It's very overwhelming. You wonder why anxiety and panic attacks happen. Parents with special needs kids, we go through it all the time. We're constantly, and I have to speak for myself because I can't speak for other people, but I know what I do to myself. And it's all about, I don't know what it is. People are like, oh, you can't feel like that. Well, yeah, you can. If he sleeps too much, I worry. If he doesn't sleep enough, I worry. If he eats too much, I worry. If he doesn't eat enough, I worry. If he drinks too much, if he doesn't drink, I mean, it's everything. You evaluate everything. I mean, don't forget, in my situation is very different than most people with a special needs kid, because my kid is now 25. We have to sleep with a baby monitor so that way we can hear him in the middle of the night. We have to get up in the middle of the night and roll him because his body no longer works and he can no longer do it for himself. So, I mean, there's so much to consider between, nutrition being number one. We do everything we can to keep him eating higher calorie foods, whether it's a protein shake with everything in it, which we make for him on a daily basis, to make sure he gets the nutrients and the potassium and the magnesium and the vitamin D and just everything, B complex, you name it, we give it. We do CoQ10 for his heart, we do L-carnitine for his heart, and all those things seem to have been working right along, which is probably why he's 25 with Duchenne. But I have to remind everybody, just because you're hearing this from me, every child is different. Every person is different. David requires breathing treatments. Your child may not. There are certain things that David requires that other children or young adults may not need at this point, and that's fantastic. But just be reminded that every kid is different. Every person is different. No two people are the same. Just because one thing's happening to one person doesn't mean it's going to happen to yours or to anybody else's. And that I have to stress because I know that, in diagnosis, the first thing I thought was, well, this is a death sentence. Like, this is it. This is the end of the road. This is it. But there's a lot of life to live, and barring all the stress, only because I've been stressed over the last week or so. It's been one hell of a week. And I know I recorded this, I said other things in the other video that I recorded, but we go through things of you just blame yourself for everything. And no matter how much you know that that's not true, and no matter how much you know that you're doing the best that you can and your family's doing the best that they can, sometimes it just doesn't feel good enough. And I can promise you I am doing the best I can, and we are hanging in there and we are strong, but that doesn't mean that we don't need anybody to check up and say, hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you feeling? I mean, that's nice. And, Facebook is one thing, but getting a text or a phone call is actually quite another, but I'm going to not even get into that. Anyway, I'm just going to enjoy today. He's feeling better. He did sleep the majority of the day, which had me a little worried, but he's up now, and I washed him up, and he's better. And we're going to start breathing treatments in a little bit. We have not done those in a few days because he's not been even, I can't even explain the shape that he's been in the last couple days. I can't even, barely able to talk, barely able to flutter his eyes open. It was quite stressful. So anyway, we're hanging in there, and just know that we're doing our best. I'm wiping off my table as we speak, but anyway, yeah, that's really it. So just wanted to check in and let you know what's happening, and you know, I'll be in touch again. Bye.